Hello everybody, it's Brian in Toronto with a recent finds video for the period to mid-June or so. And I will start with a programming note. I have mentioned before, and I think many people know, that I will be out of the country for 2 weeks starting on Thursday. So 2 days from now, we are taking a plane across the ocean to Italy with the family. I've been to Europe before. I've been to, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Netherlands, whatnot, but never to Italy, so I'm really looking forward to it. And while we're there, we're meeting up with some friends, so it should be fun. We have a week or so in the Florence area and then a week in Rome, so that'll be very interesting. And that'll be fun. So that is just to say that for the next 2 weeks or so, I will not have probably any videos to show. I sometimes have things that I've made that I'm sitting on, but I don't have anything right now. I could possibly make a travel video, or if I stumble upon a record store, maybe I'll, show some clips from that. But otherwise, you won't hear from me, and you won't hear my really extraordinary, pithy commentary on your videos. So, to do recent finds today, I have to do a bit of a rewind. Some of the things I've mentioned before in different places. So, for example, this Peter Gabriel box. I did a whole video on this. I'll put a link below in case you missed it. So I'm not going to open this up or go through the details because I already did that. But in case you missed it, I got this Peter Gabriel I.O. box set. And I was waiting for this because the records, of course, came out. And in my local store, they were $99.99 for each of the Dark Side and Bright Side mixes. So that's $200 right there. The pre-order price on Amazon Canada was $99.99. And I did see it. I haven't seen it now for $69.99 on Amazon, but it just made sense to buy the box. So I waited for it. I didn't listen to any of the songs. I waited for this to come out. And thanks to Steve at All the World's a Stage, whose prize money from his recent contest subsidized this purchase. I'm really happy to have this. In addition to the records, there is 2 CDs and a DVD and a great book. So I'll put a link to my video, and in that video description, there's a link to PC31, the Vinyl Policeman's unboxing of this, which is something you should check out if you're interested about the contents. But this is a really great box to have. Another quick rewind here, and that is the recent video I posted about the Ben Rankins' visit to Toronto. I mentioned 4 records that I got, so I will put a link to that video as well in case you haven't seen it, but I will just quickly mention the 4 items I picked up when he was here. Of course, we met up with the French Vinyl Addict and Low Noise Jason Skills. We visited some record stores, we had some drinks, we had some food. It was really interesting, and it was great to see him in person, and he's off now to other parts of the world. So, as I mentioned in the video, he gently encouraged me to buy Midnight Oil's Red Sails in the Sunset. Have not listened to this one yet. And he also encouraged me to buy Midnight Oil's 10-987-654-321, which I have listened to but only once, so it hasn't really stuck in my mind yet, but I got those 2, my first 2 Midnight Oil records. And then I bought Beck's Modern Guilt. This is a 2017 repressing of this 2008 record. I have the CD, of course, but I'd never owned a vinyl copy. And I bought this REM's Automatic for the People, which is the second European pressing from 1999, not the most recent pressing. And of course, I've had this on vinyl probably since the week it came out, but I've never owned the vinyl, so that is cool. Now I have to do one other little brief recap or review. Some time ago, I participated in a live stream that was organized by French Vinyl Addict, and with guests Ben Rankins from Australia, David Atkinson from the UK, and me from Canada. And it was called something like an incredibly specific discussion between VCers from 3 continents. And we went through a number of questions, but the last question that we discussed were just a presentation of the last 5 records you bought. So. I don't know if you saw that or not. I will talk about the last 5 things I showed on that stream, which are no longer the last 5 I bought, but I will show them anyway. So the first one is something I didn't know about, didn't know this band existed, and I knew about it because of PC31, the Vinyl Policeman. That's Mike over in the UK, and it is a band called The Outsiders. And so this is a collection of early recordings. So Calling on Youth, and One to Infinity. So Calling on Youth is the debut album, and One to Infinity is an EP, and it's bundled with early songs. Now, I didn't know this at the time. Well, I didn't know until I heard from Mike that The Outsiders featured Adrian Borland. And because of Mike's channel, I've been listening to The Sound, which was a later Adrian Borland band. So I was curious about this. And this hype sticker says, here's Adrian Borland's first band before he went from his obscure synth pop, before he went on to form, that's really written, to form obscure synthwave project sound layer and then joining iconic new wave heroes of sound. You'd think I could read by now. Several early compositions are here too, and it says they were probably the first post-punk band ever together with The Wire, so who knows? But I knew he was looking for this. I went to RSD, I saw it in the bin, but I didn't buy it because it was $44.99, and I thought, I don't know if I want this. But I went back, and it was reduced to $19.99. So I thought for $19.99, yeah, I think I'll get that. And I've only listened to it a couple times, so this red vinyl. Pressing limited red vinyl. So I guess that means they reserved the right to put it on a different color at some point. But this is so far so good. The Sound as a band I also learned about from Mike, and I do have some things from them now, and I'm quite enjoying it. Here's another item I saw on Record Store Day and passed over it, primarily because of the price. I love this band, especially the first two records. I'm talking about Wall of Voodoo. And sorry, the glare from the shrink wrap here, but the first two records with Stan Ridgway I thought were fantastic. And I looked at this, considered it, put it back because it was $50. $50 for one piece of vinyl. I mean, it doesn't have anything in here. So I didn't know that at the time though. But again, I went back and it was marked down to $24.99. So good news for me. And the reason I went back and got it, well, I didn't go back to get it. I was looking around and I saw it there, and I was prompted to buy it for two reasons. One, because it was half price, and two, because I'd watched Vinyl Richie's video in which he said this was the only thing he was looking for from RSD. And I thought, that's high praise. I mean, of all the things, this is the only one you wanted. But I have to say, this is really excellent. It's limited to 2,000 copies, recorded live in November 79 at the Barn, University of California. And it includes two compositions not on any other record, and it's on black ice vinyl, which is an interesting term. You can see through it. And I guess if you live in Canada, you kind of know what black ice is, so that kind of makes sense. So there we go. So happy to have that, and it is great, I have to say. I really enjoy that. As I said, the first two, Wall of Voodoo, I didn't hear anything other than Far Side of Crazy, that song. I don't know anything after Stan Ridgway left. I think the third record I mentioned on the live stream was Warren Zevon's The Wind, and this was originally from 2003. And I think it's been on vinyl more than once, but I've always missed them or didn't get it. But this time I decided to put the money down and get it. It's one of those sad end-of-life records like Leonard Cohen's You Want It Darker or Bowie's Black Star. And of course, I've had this on CD for a while, but I mean, the musicians on here are quite interesting. In addition to Warren, of course, we have, I'll just read off some names: Ry Cooder, Don Henley, Billy Bob Thornton. Well, is he really a musician? I guess so. Dwight Yoakam, Bruce Springsteen. I'm just picking a few: Tommy Shaw, Brad Davis. I don't know who that is. John Waite, David Lindley, Jim Keltner. Who else? David Lindley. I said that already. Jackson Browne. T-Bone Burnett, Mike Campbell, Tom Petty. Yeah, some other people. I've just named a few. Emmylou Harris. Yeah, so really interesting. Sad, kind of a sad record because you know what's going to happen. But yeah, and I do like Warren Zevon. I'm missing a few, of course, those hard ones to find. Next record I mentioned was Love and Rockets, the remnants of Bauhaus's Hot Trip to Heaven, which came out in 94. And I believe this was released on vinyl at the time, only once, I think, and then not again till, I think this was last year. I think it was 2023. This was a departure in sound for them. This is their so-called, I think it was described as ambient techno, which scared me away. And the weird thing is, despite the fact that I followed Love and Rockets quite closely after, right from the start of them, after Tones on Tail, right up to the present day, I lost track of them right when this record came out because I thought, I didn't buy it on CD, I didn't listen to it. I hadn't heard anything from this record because I was kind of a little concerned about that description because I don't really like techno music. But there's a part of me that thinks this is the best record they ever made. And I think it is really great. There's the back. And it has 3 bonus tracks on side 4, which is really fantastic. It has just these plain sleeves, plain label. Yeah, so out of print on vinyl for 25 years or so. But yeah, I think this is really good. I'm kind of weirdly regretting not buying even a CD copy when it came out because I really like it. And doubling down on that band, here's Love and Rocket's Sweet FA, which came out 2 years later, and it's a return to a more guitar-heavy sound. I mean, the guitar is front and center here, very prominent. And the album jacket features this destroyed, burned guitar because the house they were recording in burned down and some of their equipment was destroyed, unfortunately. This also comes with some bonus tracks. So it has side 4 again, My Dark Twin, Butterfly, Venus Child, Pick Yourself Up. And this is the first time this was ever on vinyl. So first time on vinyl for this one. This one I do have the CD for, and I used to play it quite a lot, and then I stopped playing it. But this has reminded me how great this record is. Like starting out with Sweet FA. I mean, here come the Come Down. This is really good. I mean, I really like it. And then another thing that I grabbed post RSD, which is something I wasn't even sure I wanted, and it's Bauhaus Staircase from OMD. This is the instrumental version. So it's Bauhaus Staircase instrumental on pitch black vinyl, limited to 3,000 copies. I did take the price sticker off here, but it was similar. It was like 44 something, and I got it for between $20 and $25. I can't remember. I took it off for some reason. And so essentially it's all the tracks that are on Bauhaus Staircase, but it's on it's just instrumentals and pitch black vinyl. Why would they have to say pitch black vinyl? I mean, this is no blacker than any other vinyl. It's just black vinyl. So I did see a copy of this on RSD, and I passed it by because of the price, and I was wondering, do I really need instrumental versions of Bauhaus Staircase? But when the price came down, you know, I am an OMD completist, so I decided to grab it. So here we go. It is kind of off-putting hearing something that's instrumental that you've heard so many times with vocals. And we're down to the last thing that I wanted to show today, and that is a box set called Suck You Dry, the Reprisers from Mudhoney. This box. I did not see this on RSD, or I saw it and didn't pay any attention to it. And I went back to a store that has sometimes remainders. Now, between the first visit and my going back, which I didn't see it, I saw this in another store for $189.99. But their price was $149.99, which didn't compel me to buy it. Instead, it was this extra little red sticker on there which says $51.99. And someone else had picked up one that said $49.99. And then there was one that said $52.99, $56.99, and $59.99. I don't know why they're all different prices, but I got one for $51.99. And when I brought it up to the counter, the guy said, "Wow, that's an amazing price." Yes, it is. So this has the 3 Mudhoney reprise studio albums, including the first ever North American vinyl release of Piece of Cake. So let's just have a look what's in here. So first it has this thing and some writing which I have not read yet, but it just describes, I don't know what it describes because I haven't read it, so maybe I should. So let's see what's in here. We have, as I mentioned, Piece of Cake. There's the back. And inside this we have an insert and some writing here. Making a mess here. And this one, I guess I'll show you them all just because this is maybe green. Some sort of green color. So I took them out and I have to put them all back in. So you'd have to endure while I do this. Don't mess everything up. And this is My Brother the Cow. And again, there is a insert with, there's no lyrics or anything, but it does have song titles and personnel. Maybe this will make it easier. This is, I guess, some sort of pink vinyl. This is Tomorrow Hit Today. Get this out of here. A reddish kind of color. And this is Live, 1993 to 1998. With interesting image there. White vinyl, very interesting. And what's left? One left. This is Mudhoney, $5 Bob's Mock Cooter Stew. That's the EP, and then some demos. And this one is again on white vinyl. All right. So that's that. That is my recent expenditures. And I am hoping that I will be able to step into some Italian record stores and see what I can find. But I hope that works out. In any case, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.